And now, when we discuss the problem plays, another very prominent dramatist comes to our attention. That is George Bernard Shaw. G.B. Shaw, George Bernard Shaw. He is the advocate of the problem play in England. And see, Bernard Shaw, he had a great social commitment. He wanted to make the world a better place to live in. He thought that it is the duty of the writer to make better the world. And he examined human beings and their social institutions with a critical outlook. And so now when you discuss problem plays, a very important person is G.B. Shaw, George Bernard Shaw. He is the advocate of the problem play in England. See, he was a man with a great social commitment. He was a great social reformer. He wanted to make better the world. He wanted to make the world a better place to live. He thought that it is the duty of the writer to make better the world around him. And so he examined human beings and their social institutions with a critical outlook. He, through his dramas, he used to present the follies and the foibles that he had seen around him in the society. There is a type of mild criticism, positive criticism, meant to improve the society, because he strongly believed that it is his duty to make better this world. And I will give you some examples of his plays. Mrs. Warren's Profession, one play written by Bernard Shaw. I'm not giving you the entire list of the plays, just 2 or 3. Mrs. Warren's Profession. It's about the social and economic aspects of prostitution. Mrs. Warren's Profession, it is about the social and economic aspects of prostitution. And then another important play, The Arms and the Man. Actually this play stripped off all romantic notions regarding war and love. Arms and the Man, a very realistic play. And when you read the play or when you see it enacted on the stage, all the romantic notions of love and war is blown off. Then Candida, another play which dealt with the issues related to women. Just understand that George Bernard Shaw is a very famous writer of the problem plays in England, and at least 2 or 3 plays like Mrs. Warren's Profession, The Arms and the Man, Candida. You can see Shaw's social commitment in these plays. And another important person is John Galsworthy, another person who wrote in the same vein. Another renowned playwright. He also is an exponent of the problem play. He also specialized in problem plays like G.B. Shaw. Actually, in John Galsworthy's hands, drama became a powerful instrument of social criticism. And another important person who dealt with problem plays. Who is it? John Galsworthy. And he was a very renowned playwright, and he was an exponent of the problem play in whose hands drama became a powerful instrument of social criticism. He deeply sympathizes with the victims of social injustice, the poor and the downtrodden. And so John Galsworthy was very sincere. He was always with the victims of social injustice. He took sides with the poor and the downtrodden. He was an advocate of the poor and the downtrodden. And again, some examples of his work. The Silver Box, about the inequality of justice, he talks about. Then Strife, another play, the struggle between capital and labor. Then Justice, cruelty of solitary confinement. See, now I am talking about John Galsworthy. Don't confuse with these names. Another person who wrote problem plays. Actually, for whom drama was a powerful instrument of social criticism. Then 3 plays written by John Galsworthy. 1, The Silver Box. It deals with the inequality of justice. Then another one, Strife, struggle between capital and labor. Then another one, Justice, cruelty of solitary confinement. These are some examples. Remember, he was a man who always sympathized with the victims of social injustice, who always stood with the poor and the downtrodden, who always talked for the underdog. Then, coming to poetic drama. Now, the early decades of the 20th, see, we have come up to the 19th century and now coming to the 20th century. You will see the rise of poetic drama. Understood? It was pioneered by Stephen Phillips, Oscar Wilde, W.B. Yeats, Synge, Jean Cazet, T.S. Eliot, and Christopher Fry. These people have experimented and popularized poetic drama. And see, in the 20th century, we could see another type of drama called the poetic drama. In the early decades of the 20th century, you see the rise of a new type of drama called poetic drama. Understood? Early decades of 20th century. It was pioneered by Stephen Phillips. Then Oscar Wilde, W.B. Yeats, Synge, Jean Cazet, T.S. Eliot, Christopher Fry. These are the people who experimented and popularized it. And then coming to another theatre called Abbey Theatre. It comes in connection with the Irish theatre movement. And see, you have seen different types of theatres, isn't it? And now Abbey Theatre. Abbey Theatre comes in connection with the Irish theatre movement. The Irish theatre movement was initiated by the opening of the Abbey Theatre in 1904, in which plays of Yeats, Lady Gregory, Synge, and Jean Cazet, which were written in verse, were performed. Understood? And so, coming to Abbey Theatre. Abbey Theatre is seen it comes as a part of the Irish theatre movement. The Irish theatre movement was initiated by the opening of the Abbey Theatre. When was it opened? In 1904. Abbey Theatre came into being in 1904. And then here the plays of Yeats, Lady Gregory, then Synge, Jean Cazet. All these plays, plays were written in verse. This V-E-R-S-E. This Yeats, Lady Gregory, then Synge, Jean Cazet, they wrote in verse and these plays were staged. And in England, Eliot, Fry, and W.H. Auden practiced the poetic mode of drama. And then in England, who are there? See, we have seen the Irish writers who popularized the Abbey Theatre. See, we have seen the Irish writers, Yeats, Lady Gregory, Singh, Shannon, they are all the Irish writers. And they wrote poetic dramas. Now we can see who wrote poetic dramas in England. And so in England, Eliot, Fry and W.H. Auden practiced the poetic mode of drama. Then Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral. It's a very famous poetic drama written by T.S. Eliot. Actually, this Murder in the Cathedral, it includes conventions of Greek drama, combines myth, ritual and poetry for a heightened theatrical effect. Actually, Murder in the Cathedral is based on the martyrdom of Thomas à Becket. And see about the Archbishop of Canterbury. And see Murder in the Cathedral, for your information, it is a poetic drama written by T.S. Eliot. It talks about the martyrdom of Thomas à Becket, the Bishop of Canterbury. And here you will see the Greek elements like chorus in this play. And Eliot mixes the conventions from Greek drama, then combines myth, ritual and poetry. And thus he makes a heightened theatrical effect he creates in Murder in the Cathedral. And then, see, after this comes the another type of drama in the 1950s. Now we have reached up to 1950s. And 1950s, remember, two great wars are over. You will see a rise of the working class drama, realistically portraying the mood of the post-war years. And see, I told you two great wars are over. And see, we have reached up to the 1950s. In 1950s, you will see a new type of drama. That is the rising of working class drama. Understood? See, it's the rising of the working class drama, realistically portraying the mood of the post-war years. That is the restlessness, dislocation and frustration of the working classes. And see, and that is I am slowly coming to the Ankara Theatre. See, in 1950s, you will see a rise of the working class drama. What are they trying to do? They realistically portray the mood of the post-war world. See, the disillusioned, frustrated post-war youth, especially the working classes. The frustration, the isolation, the restlessness, the dissent of the working classes. That is what you see from 1950 onwards.